Oh, well, hey, man. It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, let's have a quick chat, kind of, about Robyn and Gizelle. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I want to talk about a few things from when I watched Robyn and Gizelle's interview with the Breakfast Club. I took some notes, so I'm gonna get into it. Now, this isn't necessarily gonna be a quick chat. I feel like it's gonna be a longer chat, but you guys just bear with me because there were just a few things in there, and I have my notes here, so I may be taking my time. But y'all just bear with me and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so Robyn and Gizelle are coming out with a podcast called Reasonably Shady. Okay, and this came from them doing a IG live together, and they had so much fun that once they got off, people hopped in their comments and hopped in their DMs and said, "Yo, you guys should really do a podcast," and all of that. So here they are with Reasonably Shady. Now, the reasonable person, Robyn says, is her, while the shady person happens to be Gizelle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some other things that they said. Now, Robyn has already claimed the title and declared herself the official broke housewife. Okay, she called her the official broke one. I guess that stemmed from a comment that Annie may have made some time ago, and she said that she has no issue with being called the official broke one because at the time she was, and she owns her story. But now she's at a place where she ain't broke no more. So what we really talking about? Okay, she has her hat business. She's continuing to be on the show, Real Housewives of Potomac, and she also is working on her real estate. Now, it was a struggle at one point, but now she's getting better and better with real estate and actually being able to make some money off of that. Now, we also learned that she actually broke ground on a home. So I know at one point she and Juan were actually looking for a house together. And I guess they just couldn't find what it is that they wanted. So they've decided to break ground on a home that they will be getting built. So hopefully we'll get the chance to see that on the show. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. Like as soon as they got into it, Envy wasted no time asking them, honey, what are y'all thoughts about Miss Porsha in this situation? Okay. Robyn jumps out the gate and says, listen, I just feel like they should have kept this thing secretive. Like, continue to keep it private. If y'all are going to date, mind y'all business, keep it quiet. Y'all ain't got to be out here telling everybody all y'all tea. Like, she just felt like that was a bit distasteful and she could have kept it to herself. Now, if you ask me, I'm going to agree with Robyn. I do. I feel like y'all could have kept this secret. It was a secret that we really did not need, but it definitely wowed us, and we talked about it all of May and probably are going to continue to discuss it until the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Gizelle goes on to talk about how love is so hard to find. And if she's found love or lust, then she's not mad with Porsha. And I'm over here wondering because to me, Gizelle strongly caped for Porsha this entire sit down that she had with the Breakfast Club. And it's just, I'm trying to understand the loyalty that Gizelle has to Porsha, that she felt the need to not speak out against her. Is it just because y'all have the Bravo chat room, which is not on TV right now, and it just left abruptly? Like, could it be that? Is it the long history that Porsha has with the network, and you don't want to, be on odd terms with her, and then be on odd terms with some of the executives? Like, just be honest, because clearly Robyn sat up there and didn't give no. They just kept it real, and I'm with Robyn on that. Robyn gets a lot of flack from people all the time, but in this moment, I'm here for you when you're right. And she just kept it, she just kept it a book, right? So Angelique said, she asked, like, okay, Gizelle, well, what if somebody on the cast was trying to date, your husband or something? Gizelle says, well, it wouldn't be cool. Okay, it wouldn't be cool, but you happy for Porsha and what she got going on. Okay. Now, Gizelle in that same moment decided to open up and let us know that Fallon probably will never see Real Housewives of Atlanta again. From her understanding, she's not there. She won't be on season 14. So that's done. That's what she said. So I'm like, okay, I guess we won't be seeing Fallon. As much as we would love to see Fallon on the show, we're not going to. And I believe everything Gizelle is saying because it makes me think about how Porsha didn't like an issue between she and Kandi, and she was able to get that footage pulled. So I feel like Porsha probably got enough pull to probably be like, listen, I'm not trying to do this show with this lady. Like, no. And they probably gave Porsha what it is that she wanted. Y'all know Porsha can definitely on shows be rewarded even with her bad behavior. You know, not saying she's the only one, but Porsha definitely has been rewarded for bad behavior. So I feel like she got some type of pull. Some people got some kind of likeness over there. And if Porsha could have possibly said, hey, I don't want Fallon on the next season, they probably granted her that. She probably was like, honey, I'll fight with Kenya. I'll fight with any of these ladies. I'll do this, I'll do that. But what you're not going to do, you're not going to bring this lady onto the show. And if I was Miss Fallon, I probably would and would not care. I probably would care because this is my ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband, somebody that I really cared about despite anything good or bad that's happened in our relationship. This is somebody that I loved and that I brought to the table to be a part of this show. And you mean to tell me that I wasn't able to move forward with being on this show, but he gets to live out his love life for the entire world to see? So every time they discuss Simon and Porsha, they're going to start bringing me up in the conversation. It's kind of like a Nikki and a Cardi situation. Every time you bring up one, people feel the need to bring up others, bring up the other, even though they have absolutely nothing to do with this situation over here. You know, so I feel like whenever they bring up Simon and Porsha, Fallon's going to constantly be dragged in that. But then some part of me, if I was Fallon, would not care because I'm so hopeful for the future and the things that can come my way. You know, a lot of people say she left with nothing out of that marriage. Well, whether the house was already hers or not, you know, she got that 150,000 off of the house that I believe they shared together. In addition to that, he gave her an extra $50,000, so she left with 200 and some $1,000. And to me, I don't consider that nothing when it's normal folk like you and I walking around getting a divorce and leave with nothing but bad credit. Hello, okay? Not all of us, but I'm talking about some of y'all. Okay, y'all leave with nothing. Okay, but a broken heart. Hey, Brandy, broken hearted. Hey, Wanye. So that's what we talking like. So don't say she leaving with nothing for real, because I feel like she leaving with something. She leaving with something to go and start up multiple businesses and do her thing with. So some part of me feels like she shouldn't care, but I understand if she does, because it's like, how are you going to ever heal for real when you're going to constantly have this being thrown in your face, whether it's from blogs or actually seeing it on TV? Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to what Robyn said. Robyn says, this makes absolutely no sense to me, because Gizelle was sitting up there trying to justify it. And Robyn like, girl, this shit don't, girl, sit your ass, okay? Gizelle says that there are boundaries that shouldn't be crossed, but I love Porsha, so Porsha gets a pass. And that's the shit that I be talking about. People don't, like, it's okay to me to really like somebody, you know, to be a fan. Okay, I feel like stans are individuals, in my opinion, that are with you right, wrong, indifferent, everything. You could have just murdered somebody and they still gonna stand beside you. Okay, so I feel like with fans, it's okay to be a fan of somebody and call them out, because that's what fans do. I feel, you know, when you like somebody, like I feel like I am a fan of Porsha. Over time, when she got back cool with Nene and I felt like that whole thing was fake, I started to dislike Porsha more and more and more. I still think she's gorgeous. I still think that she has some very comical and funny moments. I'm still looking forward to seeing her on next season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But as a fan, I'm not going to stand in this with you, because I feel like that was foul. Now, it's one thing to take this lady husband and keep it to yourself and y'all date and y'all figure it out, then y'all came out a year later. We still was gonna drag you, but probably not to this extent. But then it's another thing to like, dang, he just made his announcement of his divorce, and then here it is, soon as Real Housewives of Atlanta drop, you out here broadcasting y'all relationship, and then some part of it seems like it's a little bit of clout associated with that as well. So it's like some things I just can't get behind, whether I like you or not. And you know what I'm saying? It's just an honest opinion, you know. But Gizelle, I don't understand this. Okay, you be ready to ride anybody about relationships and stuff, but all of a sudden Porsha gets a pass. Porsha gets a pass, but you be over here all up in everybody else's business and their relationships and what they got going on over here and who said what. Had that been Karen Huger, you would have dragged Karen from damn North Carolina all the way down to Georgia, took her down to Florida, came up, went over there to Louisiana, took her back up to Wyoming somewhere, and then would have brought her ass back all the way over there to motherfucking Potomac. You would have dragged Karen all across the United States, okay, and into the waters, the deep blue sea, before you let this situation go. But all of a sudden with Porsha, you just gonna sit in your house on your sofa and just be calm, cool, and be like, okay, it's fine, it's Porsha. I love Porsha. I would have just said, y'all, I ain't got nothing to say about that. You know, I only can speak for myself. You know, that's not something I would do. But you know, I love my Porsha girl. So, you know, I'm just gonna reserve my comment. Robyn, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, she went to bat for her, and it's like, okay, so you know, because you went to bat for her, as this new season is coming up, I'm on your ass. Okay, now y'all know I have loved me some Gizelle. I have really loved me some Robyn. I actually like the green-eyed bandits. I really do. But this right here, ma'am, I'm feeling like Wendy looking at you side eye. I don't like that. Okay, girl. So moving on, Robyn was about to say that they've probably been dating for some time, because Robyn was trying to figure out their timeline. Robyn said, I mean, come on now. They've been dating for some time. The show has been on filming for a while. And then she goes on to, she was trying to find out when the show ended. She was like, and they probably ended the show when? She's asking Gizelle, and Gizelle's like, who knows, honey, but I'm happy for her. It's like she was trying to like skate around the question, the answer, all of that. Like, girl, I'm happy. I'm not going to dive in that. So it's like you refuse to dive in negative talk about her, but you'll allow yourself a preacher's wife to engage in this conversation about Porsha and speak on how happy you are for her. I was like, girl, if you ain't a contradicting motherfucker, girl, shut it up. When you was sitting up there pressed about another woman and your man put his peen in another woman while y'all was married, but you will sit up here and say, oh, Porsha, I like her. Listen, if she's found love or lust, who the hell am I? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. But yeah, I wasn't featuring that. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below if you guys have or have not seen The Breakfast Club. You know, I'm trying to give you guys a good synopsis, so just go ahead and hop down below and leave your thoughts. And don't forget to like this video as well. I definitely appreciate it. And if you would like to support my channel, then you guys also know how to do that as well. But let's go ahead and move on. So Robyn confirms that she's the person. This was real interesting. Robyn confirms that she's the person that throws rocks, and Gizelle gets blamed for it. She says she may have spearheaded some things, but Gizelle is the one that gets blamed for it. See, now Robyn, y'all telling me too much, okay? And now it's kind of like what everybody else sees about y'all and why they can't stand y'all. Whereas I'm over here like, no, I like them. But when you have little context clues like this, now it's going to make me probably go into the season looking at you funny. But by the time y'all come back in July, hopefully I would just be on a even scale with everybody. I'm team nobody, and we just gonna see how this thing play out. But when you say stuff like that, that makes me feel that you've done things to Karen, because you took a lot of shots at Karen in this in this interview. So I feel like that be you that be doing shit. And then people just know Gizelle for her words, and they just assume it be her. And I feel like it kind of reminds me of the Kenya and Kandi situation and Porsha and Bolo. So y'all remember how the whole alleged story with Porsha and Bolo, and Kandi was the one behind the scenes telling different people, telling everybody and stuff. But whenever somebody else would bring it up, not even Kenya, whenever someone else would bring it up, y'all would find it as an issue with Kenya and feel like Kenya was the one that said something. Kenya was the one that was talking about it. And it's like Eva brought that up. Kandi brought that up at the other event about page 6. Like, how many times has Kenya brought it up? Okay, Marlo was over here bringing X, Y, and Z up, but y'all found a way to put it off on Miss Kenya, and not just the fans, but I feel like some of the cast members as well. So that situation made me think of Kenya and Kandi when it comes to Robyn and Gizelle, and how Robyn may do certain things, but everyone blames Gizelle for it. So I was like, okay, I see you, girl. I got you, girl. I still like you, but you know what I'm saying? I'm team no one, and we're gonna see how this plays out. So let's just go ahead and move on, okay? I got a little bit more from this interview that I'm gonna discuss before I go ahead and wrap this up. So Angela inquired about why Gizelle unfollowed Wendy. Gizelle says that she felt as though Wendy wasn't interesting. Wendy wasn't interesting, but she was interesting enough last year for you to be on her. It's last year. She was interesting enough then for you to be hanging out with her and all this other good stuff. She was interesting enough then when she wasn't Team Monique. She was interesting enough then, huh? But now all of a sudden, she's not interesting. Okay, Gizelle says that Wendy blamed her for a lot of things that she did not do. She also says she didn't come at Wendy out of shade, but she came at Wendy out of concern. Now, Wendy could have, we'll have to see how that all plays out, because Wendy could have taken it wrong. The fact that Gizelle continued to bring it up and disguised it as concern could have pissed Wendy off, because Wendy could have saw right through her. But for you to say that she's not interested and that's why you won't follow her, girl, that is shade. And that for me confirms that y'all are still not cool at this very moment. Okay? Y'all are still not cool. So y'all probably gonna be in an arguing match when it comes to the reunion, honey. But okay. But Gizelle said that she and Karen are okay. They are fine at this moment. They are okay. Now, she did throw shade at Karen by saying Karen ain't rich, honey. And she started laughing, but we'll get into that because I think I got some tea on that too when Robyn has said, honey, I paid my taxes. Ooh. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. So they speak on Robyn and Juan and their wedding and whether it's coming up. Robyn chooses to blame COVID as to why they have yet to have a wedding. I'm like, okay, that's a safe one for a lot of people out here. Even though the pandemic has been the cause of many breakups. Hey, Jamal, how you doing? Is Jamal coming? Of course not, okay? So obviously the pandemic is the reason for some of the breakups, but it's also the reason as to why Juan and Robyn did not get married. Robyn also gave the history of their relationship. And as you know, if you've been watching the show from the beginning, then you kind of already know the history. But she also mentioned how they lived in the house together and how she would not date, but he would. Y'all living in the same house together, but she would not date, but he would. And that's not the issue for me. The issue is the reason why she did not date. Robyn said that she did not date because male egos cannot handle that. You got me mother up if you're the reason that we got a divorce, so I made the decision to divorce your ass, and you think that you finna stay in my house because I'm out here trying to, you know, keep a certain image for my motherfucking kids and think that I'm not gonna be out here dating one or two. No, ma'am. Okay. I would have been on my candy birds. When you out at the club, don't think I'm not. Feeling good in somebody's spot, getting hot. Just don't think I'm not, because I'm out. Okay. I'm out getting mine, period. So ain't no way you out here worried about this man ego. This man wasn't stunning you or anything when y'all was in the relationship. And now that y'all are not together, he was out there still dating. And you mean to tell me that you withheld yourself from dating other men? Oh, honey, girl. I would have been like, baby, bye. Baby, bye. You got the kids tonight? Oh, okay, then cool. Yeah. I'll be back later. I don't know what time. Don't wait up. What? Are you serious, girl? Because at that point, y'all was roommates, so you could have did what you wanted to do. But the fact that you continue to coddle his ego the entire time, you continue to think of him more than he even thought of you, which was the reason why y'all got the divorce. One of the reasons. What? Girl, I was like, Robyn. Whew, I don't know what kind of gold tip DIC Mr. Juan Dixon got over there, honey. But okay, so let's move on to Gizelle. Okay, the big question about Gizelle and Jamal. They are no longer together. She is single and she is somewhat out here trying to mingle. Okay, y'all know she can't mingle how she wants to because, you know, pandemic, Miss Virus is still out here attacking the girl. So she got to be a little, you know, strategic. Now she says based on the pandemic, they were able to come to terms with the fact that this was not going to work. And I'm like, girl, I hate that it took a pandemic for you to realize that it wasn't. Why? Everybody wants to blame the pandemic. Why? What was that? What was that about? Okay, but that's what she said. She said that he'll always be a part of her life. You know, that's her kid's dad. True enough, he'll always be there. Some part of me feel like 20 years from now, when Gizelle's still single, her and him gonna get back together because they ain't gonna have no choice. They ain't gonna have no choice but to get back together. They're gonna be old, unfortunately. They're gonna be wrinkled up, and ain't nobody else gonna want to deal with them, and they're gonna need each other to take care of them. Period. They already got 3 kids together, so I feel like give them. I think Gizelle may be 50 something. Give her about 20 years when she in her 70s, like like Ray is. They gonna end up being right back together. That's what I think. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. And are y'all surprised on Jamal and Gizelle being together and breaking up now? Okay, because Karen asked, was he coming? And she said, no, of course not. So obviously the relationship wasn't going to go anywhere either. Of course not. But I want y'all to leave your thoughts and comments down below. So let's go ahead and move on to more. So Gizelle and Robyn are not allowed to do recaps on the podcast, which is what they said to Charlamagne, because he asked, like, are y'all gonna be doing recaps of the show? And it was like, no, well, Bravo got us on lock. We got to be, everything's under wraps. And I'm like, do you mean before the show drops? Or can y'all do recaps or discuss it afterwards? Because here's the gag for me. How is it that Burruss gets to interview damn near her whole cast and put it on speak on it and use some of y'all clips in the photo? I mean, in the video. So how is it that Kandi can do it and they can't? And don't some other housewives have like some little talk show or some YouTube stuff, some of the white ladies? So it's like, how is it good for these geeses or whatever, but it ain't good for the gander over here? Why they can't do it? So I don't know. Is it tenure, honey? Is it that she's been on the show longer? What is that about? I didn't like that. I'm like, they should be able to discuss their own likeness and their cast, on their podcast. But it is what it is. But again, she did not specify whether or not that's only tied to before the show versus after the show. And then maybe Gizelle can't do it because if Bravo's chat room does come back when Housewives of Potomac comes on, maybe she can't do it because they want to save that for their show. So I'm not sure, but that's what it was. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on. So Gizelle speaks on Mia Thornton. And this is when we learned that she and Karen are actually on good terms. But like I said, she was kind of throwing Karen under the bus by saying Karen wasn't rich. Robyn said that she paid her taxes, so y'all may want to check out Miss Karen. Robyn said Karen was rich, but then her husband ran into some tax issues, and now they ain't rich no more. So see, this is that Robyn was talking about when she said, I be spearheading shit, and then Gizelle get blamed for it. Now see, this right here was all Robyn on that one throwing shade, but Gizelle did say that they are cool, her and Karen, but she also goes on to speak on how she met Mia Thornton. Mia Thornton was a friend of Karen's. She came to the show. Gizelle said that Mia is everybody's friend, IDK, because we're going to find out more. Because he also saw Mia throwing some damn lettuce at Candiace and Candiace throwing the lettuce right back. So I'm not sure if Mia and Karen are still friends at this point or if she turned on Karen, but we're learning that Mia is rich, Karen is not rich. Mia and Gizelle are really cool. Gizelle really likes her. All of the ladies for the most part like her. So we'll see how that flows between the friendship of Mia and Karen. Okay. So that's that. They spoke on last season, when Mo was on the show and everything. And, Robyn was very vocal about how she felt as though Mo went to the blogs. She didn't say her name specifically, but we knew who she was talking about when she said that Mo got out there trying to get ahead of the story. And in doing that, she was telling the wrong stories. In addition to that, she wasn't remorseful for her actions immediately. They had to go through hell and high water to even get her to apologize when originally she wasn't trying to, apologize. The lady still believe that Mo decided to leave on her own. I feel like they gave her a SHI contract and then she decided to leave, in my opinion. And that's just what that is. So the ladies gave their thoughts, and then Gizelle gave her thoughts too, saying that the overall situation was just trash, and she was just with what Gizelle says that she was with whatever was good for the show. If it meant Miss Mo had to stay and that was good for the show, she was cool with that. If Miss Mo had to go, she was cool with that too. I'm like, Gizelle, once again, you up here lying, you up here capping, girl. You know that you was glad that she was gone, and that's what you would have preferred. It's not what's good for the show. We asking you how you feel about that, and just be honest and say that I'm glad that she's gone. Because short answer was that Gizelle was just like, she's gone, meaning stop talking about her, stop bringing her up, she's not here, she gone, she made the decision to leave, so peace out, girl, bye, nobody misses you, and the show will continue to go on. That's what I got from Miss Gizelle. But I want to hear what you guys got from this video. Let me know your thoughts down below on the Real Housewives of Potomac, Miss Robyn Dixon and Gizelle Bryant. Okay, and have you guys checked out their latest podcast, which is called Scandal, Child, good night, Reasonably Shady. Let me say this other thing before I go. I just want to highlight the fact that I still have not captured what the hell their podcast was about. I don't recall them really mentioning what they really discussed on the podcast because they spent more time talking about the ladies of Potomac. But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. Fill me in on anything I may have missed. I'm Jamie, that's me. Okay. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram as well as Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.